This is episode 8 of Post Production Podcast. Hello and welcome, all you amazing people out there, to the Post Production Podcast. Thank you for joining us as we talk about the latest in movie, TV, and gaming news. I'm your host, Mr. Drew, and with me, of course, as always, is Adam.
Hello, hello.
Good morning, Adam.
What's up?
Not much. What are we doing today, Adam?
We're doing The Punisher.
We're doing The Punisher as a little extra Thanksgiving treat.
Yes.
We've got The Punisher review for you. We're going to talk about some trailers first, and then we're going to go right into initial impressions, and then we'll get into a little bit of spoilers. You know, tell you what we thought about it, all the good things, not really too much bad things.
Yeah,
it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Spoiler alert, it was pretty solid.
It was pretty solid. Yeah. So today we got some trailers. Some trailers. We got some trailers. There's been some trailers. We've had trailers.
You know what? That is true.
One of the cool trailers that we saw was A Quiet Place, which looks intriguing. I think it looks fun.
Yeah, like when that trailer came on, I was really intrigued because you have Emily Blunt, you have, I forget his name, but the guy from The Office, and the whole trailer, most of it is, or the beginning of it is silent. And it's one of those kind of like the Annihilation trailer, or like one of those like movies where you just don't know what's going on.
Right.
Until you do. And I think it was a fantastic trailer. I think it presented everything really well. I don't know what kind of monsters there are. You just see this huge claw mark on the side of the wall. And I guess the premise is you have to live quietly, or else these monsters or whoever,
like any noise that you make they're gonna find you.
And so that's why the whole trailer is silent. And then you really I got scared when they knocked over the lantern, and it just goes like crazy from there. So I'm excited for that movie. It was cool because I had no idea what the trailer was. It was my first time seeing it, first time ever hearing about it. So yeah, that's going to be on my radar for sure.
A couple things. I love the fact of how they did the trailer. I loved it. And I hope that carries on into the movie. You know, that less is more. If we go through this whole film, when it comes out, and it's quiet, and it's all these things to be quiet, and there's a couple of little, maybe some noises in them, there's some scares, but you never really see what's out there. You just don't know what's going on. It's just this constant edge of your seat, tension. And then, later on in the movie, it starts going batshit crazy. But I mean, I love the way they did that trailer. I love the way you have this. You have no idea what's going on. You don't know what's happened. You don't know what happened to the world. It's just, they're walking around on sand, which I thought was brilliant. That they're like making sand everywhere, so they make no footsteps. It's all sign language.
It's just a really cool premise.
Then
I'm
excited for it. I'm excited.
It reminded me of this short film on YouTube, and it was kind of the same premise where it was a few people in this house, and they all had to be silent because these monsters were coming around, and these monsters were blind, and these monsters were like right there in front of them, but they're blind, so they can't see. But it was kind of the same premise where you can't say anything, and as soon as you make a sound, the monsters are on you. And that's so scary to me. I would fail.
There's no way.
Yeah,
I fart too much. There's no way. I'd be the first to die.
Nice.
I'd be on the bottom of the credits.
Yeah.
If it was listed in time spent in movie. Yeah. I died in the first 5 minutes. So we also got a new trailer that came out with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So he's in another movie, another kind of like
another
action, things get destroyed movie, but it's based on the iconic video game Rampage. And I'm excited because I played Rampage as a kid. It was a fantastic game. Repetitive, but I want to see how they kind of transfer this into the live screen. We got some snippets of it. I don't know if it's going to be any good. I think it's going to be fun, But yeah, I'm excited for it.
I don't know Rampage very well. I think they made one a few years ago. I think I had it on like PS2. I think I got it from like Blockbuster for like $2 or something.
Oh, it
like,
was definitely a bargain.
yeah. But yeah, I mean the basic premise is just you smash everything, right?
Yeah, you climb up the buildings, you smash the buildings, you eat the people. That's
Yeah.
the best part, is eating the little civilians.
Now I heard that
You have to jump and like punch the planes and the helicopters
yeah,
that come
yeah.
to try to kill you. Yeah.
Well, I heard that in the video game you're a person that turns into an animal. Is that right or no?
So yeah, so that's the interesting thing about. I don't know how. I don't think they're going to make that adaptation. I think that
Well,
they're
no,
just going to
because it
go with
says
this whole this like gas scientific mutated whatever. Our secret military that they just. They're just
Yeah.
making shit up to just make
Yeah,
shit up
exactly.
just to make sure that the movies have something to put on the screen. It's like, yeah, let's make this. It turns a bear into a tortoise with a tortoise.
Tortoise.
What is a tortoise?
I don't want to
Turtle?
know. I don't-
Tortoise. Tortoise.
Tortoise.
Okay. I'll just stop. I'm going to write that down. What is a tortoise? But yeah, I'm excited to see where they go with this. I think, it's going to be a fun movie. I'm kind of interested on when this is going to come out because...
Probably like summer. It seems like a summer kind of.
Okay. And now, when are we due for Pacific Rim 2? Because this could almost be, if you have both these things coming out in the same time frame, who's going to pick what? Because I think if people just look at the previews and they go, oh look, there's big things, big creatures smashing stuff, big robots smashing stuff. I imagine it's kind of going to be, a pick or choose. So I wonder if they're going to correlate those kind of release dates.
Yeah, Pacific Rim is coming out in March.
I think it's going to be a summer thing.
Yeah, I don't think it has a release date yet, but yeah.
Hopefully they'll stretch that out.
Yeah, it sounds like a blockbuster. Your classic summer movie blockbuster. Do you think it's going to be any good?
I think it's going to be fun. I don't think, you look at a movie like this and there's no way you can categorize it in a good, bad scenario.
Yeah.
You know what you're walking into. You're walking into giant mutated monsters that are just beating things up. So
is this, with having Kong, Skull Island, Transformers, having Pacific Rim, is this too much? Are we having too many monster kind of huge robot movies?
I think there's an audience there for that. I don't know if they're making enough movie. I imagine they got to be making enough money to cover, because they're smart about this. They're gonna be like, okay, is there an audience for this? Yeah, Now, from what I understand, it's the same director of the San Andreas movie.
Did you watch that?
So yes, I did.
How was it? Kind of the same thing.
So
right?
same thing. I
Yeah.
mean, you know what you're walking into. You're walking into
Yeah.
You're walking into a 2012. You're walking into a everything just dies and everything gets destroyed kind of movie. So
See, that's not me though. I'm not walking into any of those. Like, I hate those movies. I just do, and so maybe I'll watch it. Maybe I'll give Rampage a shot, because, I mean, Dwayne Johnson he's a movie star. He's the biggest guy in Hollywood right now.
he is the hot ticket.
Yeah, I think I said to you in the theater, like, I love how he just plays the same person over and over, and it works for him.
That's
And
not, if it ain't broke, don't
Yeah.
fix it.
exactly. So no, I'm super happy for him. I think he's doing some great stuff. He has Jumanji coming out as well. He's doing a skyscraper movie. We don't have a trailer for that, but I follow him on Instagram. They just wrapped for that one, but
Okay,
I imagine it's going to be something
probably something
along
similar.
these lines.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean,
skyscraper. I wonder if they're gonna kind of like do sort of a cliffhanger. Do you know what I'm referring to, though? I mean, the cliffhanger movie with Sylvester Stallone from years ago.
Look,
Okay, so
I don't know
Never
half
mind.
the things you're talking.
All right, cool. So we also got a little snippet that came out. So great movie that came out. I think 2004 was when Pixar released The Incredibles, which was
Yeah.
probably one of their best, hands
Yeah.
down,
That was
animated movies. It was
yeah,
fantastic.
Pixar.
It was the Fantastic Four. It's the way the Fantastic Four should have been.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what kind of movie it was, and it was so good.
And yeah, I mean, I love the world that they built. It was such a good premise, and they executed it so well. It's a classic Disney movie. It's a classic Pixar movie. People have been screaming for a sequel, and what's funny is that they teased there's a sequel. Like you know, they end it on a on a really cool note, but there was never any word of a sequel until now. So it looks good. It looks funny, and I like these kinds of sneak peeks because I'm pretty sure this won't be in the movie. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's just a trailer. It's a teaser trailer.
Yeah,
but
I like that stuff that like they make it specifically for the
for the release.
For
yeah,
the release. Yeah,
yeah.
But
I can't wait to see Baby Incredible.
Yeah, what's his name? Jack. Yeah,
Jack. Yeah, he's Baby Incredible. I don't know what Jack is. Jack. Yeah.
Even though it's like what 13, 14 years after the original one, they're picking it up right after.
Yeah, I'm so glad that they didn't like try to skip ahead and have like Jack grown up. It's like yeah, you teased us at the end that Jack already got his he's already like bursting into flame and bouncing off the walls and has his power. So that'll be so much. How do you deal with a baby with superpowers?
I mean,
I don't have kids, but I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine you with a superpowered kid.
Because I mean, I see parents with kids at Target, and I have pity because they just look wrecked. They just look done.
Well,
like their life just is miserable, and then I just go, yeah, you know what? Buck up, kid. Be thankful your kid doesn't have superpowers as well as being a little shit.
Yeah, I think they really lean into all of those kinds of, what if you had a baby that had superpowers, and that's what's so fun about it. Anything else?
Well, we got a nice little sneak peek at Deadpool 2.
Dude, oh my god.
Bob Ross.
Dude,
love Bob Ross.
I was laughing so hard.
It's so good. I can't wait.
So hard. Ryan Reynolds is just he's so good.
You give him the leash. I don't know what the leash. You give him the lead.
You give him the wheel.
Yeah, you give him the wheel, and he's just gonna go with it. He's just gonna, and he made the first one exactly how it should have been.
Yeah.
So I'm giddy.
Yeah,
I'm giddy.
Only thing I really have to say about this is I'm super excited because I think it looks better than the first one. I think they brought the budget up a little bit. We got a few new characters, including Cable, who's going to be amazing.
I hope they just don't. He did a lot with the original budget, a lot, and it was a phenomenal success. I hope they just don't do what seems to be this reoccurring thing that the first one does good. Here's more budget, and then they try to cram so much into a sequel, and it's like, stick with this game plan. Stick with what worked in the first one. Just make it look a little better. I totally explore it a little bit more. You got the budget to kind of like really depth into this. You don't need to cram it full of all this just nonsensical bullshit.
Yeah, but I think Ryan Reynolds he's a good one. Like, he knows that. I trust him enough that he knows that's he's not going to do that. Yeah, he has a bigger budget, but he understands why the first one worked. And here we have that viral marketing campaign. Like, we already have it with the little Thanksgiving poster. You have the Bob Ross promotion. Like, he knows what works. He's doing things his way, and he's doing it different than everyone else. So I think it's going to be really cool.
Can't wait. Let's talk Punisher.
Okay.
Let's talk Punisher. Yeah, because that's it for trailers. Yeah, let's get into the Punisher. Netflix. Oh, Netflix. I love Netflix. So good.
I love Netflix again. At least I love Marvel Netflix again.
Okay, all right.
We got Defenders earlier this year. I mean,
Yeah.
it was nothing.
Yeah, we did that. We did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nothing. But I think a lot of people would agree that one of the best things about Daredevil season 2 was the Punisher.
Absolutely.
And I mean, it really shows because he has his own show now. So we were all anticipating, really when this was going to come out. They released the trailers, they got us excited, and now it's finally dropped. 13 episodes, which is different from Defenders. 8 episodes. I think 8 episodes is perfect. Maybe 10.
9-10. 9-10, I
say
think.
9-10
is good. 13 was a little long.
I would cut. Yeah, I would say 10. 10 is kind of the sweet spot for me.
Yeah.
Because Stranger Things season 1 was 8, season 2 was 9, Defenders was 8. A lot of the Netflix shows, they do kind of 10 episode seasons. Like Big Mouth, I think, was 10.
Yeah.
Master of None is 10. So that's kind of the trend. I don't really know why they do 13 for Marvel, but...
Well, I mean, I like the way they did this. I know that you had said that, it got a little slow for you in the middle.
I think they could have cut out at least one episode.
For me, I was good. I think they had a lot to talk about and they had a lot to explore.
Yeah.
But I didn't go through any episode going, yeah, this really doesn't mean anything to me. So I think they kept it going enough. I mean, they definitely could have condensed it. They could have cut easily one episode out and made it narrower a little bit. But I liked it, man. I loved it. I thought John Bernthal did a phenomenal job as Frank Castle.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All the supporting characters. It was great to see Deborah Ann Wolf back in there as Karen Page. The introduction of the support characters were fantastic. The FBI agent was great. The villains were great. The protagonists were...
You mean
antagonists? Protagonists.
Antagonist.
There was a gist in there. Ist. Antagonist.
Istica.
A nist. There was a nist in there with an N. Capital. Ist. Yeah. Sideways. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was violent and gritty at times, but I didn't think it was over the top. I didn't think it was excessive.
No, I don't
which
think
I
it
actually
was.
expected from the Punisher. I expected it to just be this gory, gruesome kind of, bullet fest, which I think they did a great job in finding a nice balance.
I would say... I'm going to give my general thoughts first, and then we'll kind of go into our little...
We'll go into spoilers after, yeah. General thoughts.
But no, I thought it was a really good series. Probably, I mean, how would I rank it? I would probably put it up there with, Daredevil Season 2. Actually, for me, it goes Daredevil Season 1, Jessica Jones, then Punisher. I think this is better than Daredevil Season 2. It's way above.
Yeah, it's way
above Iron Fist and
Luke
Luke Cage.
Yeah.
And Defenders. But yeah, I mean, this was... I'm just so glad they're getting back to form. And I think it has a lot to do with the character itself. Because when you go into Daredevil or Jessica Jones or Iron Fist or whatever, you get these kind of weird mystical elements that they make the story so complicated, and I think a lot of people I think things can get lost in all of that. And I think this
was a good old-fashioned spy novel.
Exactly. It was very straightforward.
It was a great espionage spy novel type story.
Exactly.
That everyone can just kind of go, okay, yeah, I can get this. There's no mysticism. There's no...
Exactly.
I don't need to know any kind of special terms or any special groups or any kind of weird stuff.
There's no The Hand.
Yeah, there's no... Yeah.
Whatever.
Jinsu, Cloud, Fang, Wong, to, whatever Cloud Dragon thing. There's just people and spy novel stuff. It's almost like a James Bond.
Yeah, it's like a modern day kind of... It's a modern day, rougher, kind of more violent James Bond. But, here we have...
Jason Bourne. It's like a Jason Bourne series.
Yeah.
Scratch the Bond. Yeah.
Okay. But
because there's no Bond girl. Sort of. No, there's no Bond girl. No. There's definitely no gadgets.
No gadget. I mean, yeah. Well, here's
There's just hardware. Oh yeah, the hardware.
Just guns. Just guns and bullets and and maybe some knives. Yeah, some knives.
Oh, the knives, so good.
Oh yeah.
Damascus, Fantastic. I got it in there.
Yeah, you got it in there.
Plug.
We-
Oh, okay.
um,
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that. We were talking about Damascus before this, and I didn't know what it was. Now I do. Look it up.
Yeah.
That's another conversation. But okay, so yeah, I mean that's basically what I have to say. I think it's up there with one of the best Marvel Netflix series. John Bernthal is, of course, amazing. I think the supporting cast was really good. I liked the Homeland Security agent, her partner. I still kind of have a problem with what's her name from Daredevil.
Karen Page?
Yeah, she annoys me at times. I think she's
a
whatever.
reporter. She's supposed to annoy you. They're annoying.
She was annoying before she was a reporter.
Oh, okay. All right.
But anyway, and Micro. We have to talk about Micro. He's great.
I don't think there's a single character in this series that I didn't like. And which is rare for me, because usually I'm like, yeah, no, I get, no. But, I can trudge through it. I liked everyone in this. I thought everyone did a fantastic job.
That's actually very true. I mean, I couldn't find anyone that was really annoying, was really irritating. So I think Billy Russo was really good. I loved their whole backstory. I loved how everything kind of, how everything weaved together. I loved everyone's history and how everything was kind of connected. Even though it was 13 episodes, I think there was only maybe one or two times where I really was kind of like, all right, let's go. Let's hurry this up a little bit.
Let's move it along. Yeah.
But, I mean, that's saying something for a 13-episode series.
That's pretty good, because usually, I mean, at 13 episodes or more, you're just going, okay. Yeah. All right, this one's, all right, I can really actually kind of I can just listen to this. I don't even have to watch it. I can just kind of listen to it in the background.
I mean, remember Iron Fist?
Yeah. Oh, God. Just, anyways. Without spoiling anything. Yeah, no, I'm good. I loved it.
Solid.
I can't wait for the next iteration, because it's going in. Yeah, can't say anything.
Well, do you want to do spoilers right now? So, I mean, if we basically covered.
Yeah. Spoilers. So.
Yes.
Okay, going into spoilers. Here's a really quick question for you. Do you think this would have worked on its own if we didn't get a prequel of Frank Castle and the Punisher in season 2 of the Daredevil? Did that kind of, did that iteration of him being in that series give us that kickstart to go, you know what? I can't wait to see this. And I'm already invested in the story.
I think
if it was a standalone, do you think it would have done as well?
I think so. I like that, they had that interaction between Daredevil and the Punisher. And I think that those first like 2 or 3 episodes of Daredevil season 2 with them both were some of my favorites. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's the fact that they didn't know what to do with Daredevil in the second season. That's why they put it in there. Maybe just to test the waters. Whatever. There's excuses for anything. But I actually, I prefer the Punisher where he's like going around and killing everyone. And there's a lot of kind of residential Frank Castle. There's a lot of like home.
There's another side to him. Yeah.
There's another side to him.
He's not just a war machine.
Yeah, but you know what? I do like that. I like the War Machine. I don't know where people stand on the Thomas Jane movie, but I love that movie.
I enjoyed it. Yeah. It's gruesome and it's violent, but I think this was a good way, because we got a taste of Castle's story and kind of like his, the things that drive him and what kind of led him to this point. And we get a nice wrap up of that, And even at the end of the series, it's just kind of like, I just really don't know what to do with myself. I don't know. So I think going forward, I don't know if they're gonna do another standalone series. I think it's gonna be some tie-ins, because he's the type of support character. He can just come in and he can just be that bullet galore, gun fest kind of shoot 'em up thing, which. Yeah. I think worked in Daredevil incredibly well.
Yeah.
Unless we really get a great new kind of like subplot story in a second season. I don't know, I mean, because it's a blank slate at this point. He can just kind of go wherever he needs to go.
So in Daredevil, we got that backstory of like his family getting killed and all this stuff, and we get a little more of that. He's basically done in the first episode, and we're in spoilers now. In the first episode, you see him and he's completing that list of people who were involved with his family's murder.
Right, the 3 factions that were involved in that whole kind of crossfire.
So he's finally done, and I love those scenes of him killing the guy in the airport bathroom. I thought that was great. The guy in down in Mexico, thought that was really good. Like, those are the elements of Punisher that I like. But this is the after. This is after I've killed everyone. What happens?
Yeah. What do I do?
And so that is an intriguing plot point.
I'm just gonna go slug some walls.
Yeah, and
that's what I'm gonna do.
I actually liked that, and it's cool because I thought that was gonna be the setting the whole season. We get that in the first episode, but quickly, you realize it's not. So I enjoyed that first episode, and I think that is a really good introduction to what this series was. It was violent, it was suspenseful, it really got you into the mind of Frank Castle.
I think they did a good job in, because after the first episode, you're like, okay, he's done. Like, he's killed everybody.
Yeah.
But he's not like, in his mind, he's still stuck. He hasn't, there's no closure. He's still stuck in that same scenario with his wife. And you see these flashbacks the entire season. Yeah. And it's the same one over and over again. And I think it's brilliant the way that they did it. And there's subtle changes here and there.
Yeah.
But I think that at the end of this season, after like pretty much everyone's accountable for everything that's happened, he can move on.
Yeah.
You had those great kind of like moments with him and his wife, and the choices that he had to make of who he is and his code and everything. And I don't think going into if there's a season 2 or anything else, we're going to see Frank Castle in a construction site banging on walls. I mean, there's going to be he's got a purpose. So
yeah, and at the end of the season, he's kind of at that crossroads of what do I do now? Yeah. Still. So yeah, they can take it in a number of different directions. I'm not a huge Punisher comic person, so I don't know the different storylines, but apparently there's a lot out there, and so I'll be interested in what they kind of choose if they do a season 2.
Right.
Critically, I think it's doing very well. It's still very controversial to a lot of people, but overall, I think it's left a positive mark on Netflix and Marvel shows.
Yeah. And it's interesting because even during in the show, they tackle the issues of gun control, a little bit, and they show a couple of different sides to different things. And, I mean, the issues are still important. Yeah. And everyone has an idea and everyone has an opinion and everyone has some experience in one form of another of dealing with these situations. And, it's something that's a continual problem in this country. It's always going to be a problem as long as we continue on this road.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about the Las Vegas shooting. Yeah. We talked about, it was a couple weeks later, there was another shooting down in South Texas. I mean, we talked about the sadness of the state of our society where mass shootings are just a common thing.
Yeah. Leading into this, a lot of people were like, critics were kind of saying, what's the difference between the Punisher and these, mass shootings? And, is this a necessary kind of show to have right now? And I think it's interesting because in the show, they tackle that exact question with the Lewis character, where he's doing things on his own terms. He's killing people, but in a different way for different reasons than Frank Castle. And he's terrorizing people, innocent people. Whereas the Punisher, this is all revenge, and these are people who have done other people wrong.
Right. He's going after the bad guys.
Yeah, he's this vigilante.
Yeah. Which for a lot of people, they don't see that fine line of difference. They're just like, hey, he's killing people.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the right to be judge, jury, and executioner.
Yeah.
Whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. You know.
Yeah, but I like that they really delved into that issue, and I thought that was really smart of them. Again, like going back to the supporting cast, his friend Curtis, I think he was really good. Again, I think his name is Billy Barnes. No, Ben Barnes. His name is Billy Russo in the show. Billy Russo, played by Ben Barnes. He's a great actor. I really liked his character, and he was. I was like, that guy looks really familiar. He was in Westworld. He was.
Oh, that's where he's from.
Yeah, he was that.
It was itching
guy.
me,
yeah.
and I just hadn't looked it up.
Yeah, and he was really good in that. I remember that, and so I'm glad that they brought him in.
Phenomenal show, so good.
Yeah,
Westworld.
Yeah,
Plug.
I can't. Yeah,
I can't plug that enough.
Yeah, great show.
I can't wait for the next season.
Yeah.
Anyway, but no, yeah, Billy Russo, I think, did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Now, how early on did you know that he was sideways?
Well, you always get this sense of who's gonna turn, because it's kind of a common thing in these Netflix shows. Like someone is not who they say they are. Someone is a double agent. Someone is whatever. To me, it gets kind of old when you see it so often.
Right.
But I mean, these are how these comic books are written, and it's just a common theme in comic books.
It's kind of hard. I mean, it's kind of hard to escape it.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's always gonna kind of be there.
Yeah.
But apparently, like this is how this character progresses. When he got into the car with Agent Orange.
Yeah.
I was like, oh fuck. I was like, come on, Billy. I liked you. But he was really good, and he's actually a really good bad guy. He's a great bad guy.
He did there wasn't, it wasn't anything specific that turned him.
It was just money.
It was just money. Well, I mean, I guess you could say, well, it was his upbringing and the fact that he was an orphan, and he always wanted to go to he wanted to go better than where he came from. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, he
came from nothing.
He came from nothing, and he wanted to just go all the way to the top, no matter what it took.
It was important for him to show how far he's gotten.
Yeah,
in
that's
in life.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting, his kind of motivations. But overall, I think some people are just bad. Some people are just they don't care, and they don't have that kind of moral compass. And it's really interesting, and it makes these villains more interesting when you actually have a backstory and you can kind of understand where these people come from. Like in Daredevil with Wilson Fisk, I remember the first season there was an episode that's all about Wilson Fisk, and that was like my favorite episode because they actually give you some backstory. When you have someone like the villain from Defenders, Sigourney Weaver, you don't know anything about her.
Nothing. You
don't care. She's supposed to be this like huge bad guy, but you've never seen her in any of the other series, so it's like, who cares? But if we do get a season 2, it's gonna make he turns into the character Jigsaw, Billy Russo.
Oh, okay.
So that's how that kind of evolved. So this was the birth of Jigsaw, the kind of evolution of that.
The origin story.
Yeah. So, and that's why it was such a big point in the end for the Punisher to
mangle his face.
Yeah, exactly, because that's the whole point of that character.
I have to look that up.
Yeah.
Very good.
But yeah, I mean, he was great.
Did you find the scene with his mom just
disturbing?
Creepy and disturbing? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah. The scene with his mom, the scene where he kills what was his name? Sam Stein.
Sam Stein. Yep.
And I like Sam Stein. He was a good little.
I was sad. Partner. I was sad. It was sad that Sam Stein.
Because it was like, oh man, he's got him. He's got him. Like,
yeah, but you knew he was gonna die.
Yeah,
he might as well have just been wearing a red shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a shame that he died, but
come down to the surface with us. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. What else? Do you have anything else?
So Agent Madani.
I love her.
Did you like her?
I mean, I like her. I don't know about her character, but I like her.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, she's definitely. I thought she did a good job. I thought there was that kind of. she had a drive, she had a spunk to her,
Yeah.
she had a rebelliousness, and she was focused.
The only thing
I think I think it kind of got a little bit
got kind of old.
not old. I definitely don't think that there's even a remote closeness of leniency in the Department of Homeland Security with kind of how they run their ship. So I mean, I'm not going to pick into that.
Yeah, but that aside,
put that aside, and I thought it was a fantastic job, and how her character developed and where that ended up, loved it.
Yeah, I thought she was good. I think those office scenes with her and her partner or whatever, I think those were kind of the weaker points to the season. I mean, I could have done less. I could have done.
I don't know. I mean, it kind of it gave you an idea of where Sam Stein was coming from, and their relationship. And then I think if they cut a lot of that out, then when Sam Stein died, you'd have been like, just another red shirt. Yeah,
that's true.
Didn't really care about him.
But you know what? I can say that I did care when he died.
Yeah.
It was sad. It made me hate Billy Russo even more because he was the one who was bathing her afterward. Like,
yeah. I originally thought that she was going to catch up to him in that scene, and there was going to be that friction. But then as soon as Sam Stein entered the that scene, I'm like, yeah, Sammy gonna die. I wish Sammy gonna die. Bye bye, Sammy. So sorry. But yeah, I mean, I highly recommend it. It's a good show. It was a little rough to squeeze into a weekend.
I literally spent all Saturday just doing The Punisher.
Yeah. I squeezed as much in as I could. I mean, I got through it, but it was rough. Yeah. Especially the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean,
the shopping.
This weekend was crazy.
Ugh.
But yeah, I mean, I would definitely recommend it. I think it's a really great show. A little violent at times. I don't think a lot of people. I think if you kind of have a problem with violence, probably won't like this.
I like that they didn't fluff it up.
Exactly, that's the thing. Yeah,
this is the Punisher.
Yeah, they go for it.
It's not Rainbow Punisher.
Oh man, I thought it was
Care Bear Punisher.
Ah,
yeah, the skull turns into a little heart.
He shoots rainbows.
He just shoots hugs.
That'd be so.
If you could shoot hugs,
that should be a children's book.
So okay, just one disappointing thing. No minigun. There's no minigun.
I don't think
which makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
because
do you think there ever was?
I don't think there ever was, but here's the thing, right? I mean, Hollywood has this fixation with miniguns ever since Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing, in a reality situation, those things are not easy to get.
Yeah.
Ever. It's not like you can just go into a store and pick one up.
Yeah, but also this is the Punisher,
Yeah, no, true. But yeah.
If anyone's gonna
have hoping for a minigun.
Yeah.
If there's no minigun, there's no minigun. I was happy with everything that he ended up with. All right.
I think that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a really solid show. Definitely recommend that. Get into it.
Get into it.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Definitely. So that concludes our review of the Marvel Netflix show The Punisher. Let us know what you guys think. Did you like it? Did you hate it? We'd love to know. You guys can email us at any time at postproductionpod@gmail.com. We're also on Twitter and Instagram. We'd love to hear from you guys. Feel free to subscribe and share this podcast with anyone you may know. We really appreciate everybody listening. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.